Well, it's about that time again. And this year, I finally got a little smart about it. I'm going to move the banana closer to where it's going to go once there's soil in the pot. Well, I think this is year 4 or possibly even 5 for the OG banana. You guys, this video is not going to be anything different than I've done the past however many years it's been. But I feel like it's a tradition to show when the banana comes out of storage. I'm actually a week late on this. I got busy last weekend and didn't get to it. It looks terrible, as always. It always looks terrible every year. Now, last year I had 2 of these. I only kept the original banana. So we always cross our fingers a little bit on this. And we always use the same specialized banana tool, which is my Target bread knife. I've used this for every single banana video, both when we bring it out of storage and when we put it in. And yeah, it's still the bread knife we use every day. Well, whenever we use a bread knife. I really, really, really need to get a proper bread knife for our house. But then where would I keep this one? Because I can find it really easily because it's in the knife drawer. All right, let's get on with it. Gosh, I really feel like in my old age, I'm actually getting smart because every year I pop this thing up down on the patio and then have to lug it up these stairs to the deck because it goes in this door, which is the door to my husband's office. So he hates banana season because he has to live with this thing in his office for a little bit. If you are new to the saga of the banana, welcome to the craziness that gardeners do. In addition to being smart about bringing it up on the deck, I also brought this. This is a Crescent Garden like plant caddy, so I can roll it right in the door. Every year I let the frost take most of the leaves or thereabouts, or unless it's just getting too cold. And then I cut them off, cut it down to what's called essentially this is the meristem. And I store it in the cold, dark, dormant storage of my basement, which stays at, let's say, between 45 and, it's about 45 degrees generally. That's where I store my dahlias too. And then I bring it out here in spring. And what needs to happen is we need it to grow some roots because there's very little bit of roots on these. So we're going to stick it in a pot. We're going to let it develop enough roots so it can stand upright. But first, oh, there's bugs. Ugh, gross. Moving on from the gross bugs. What I do usually is I try to cut it back to healthy tissue. So we just keep cutting till we see some good stuff. And so far it's worked every year. So we're just going to do it again the same way. So every year in the comments, I ask everyone, is it going to live or is it not going to live? And usually the comments say not going to live. But so far we've been okay. This is fairly solid. This right here is not great, but we'll probably leave it. And, you know, if it's dead, it should take care of itself. A little mushy on this side, too. Maybe we'll just peel this guy off. All right, so now I'm going to do a cut up here. I'm going to cut little by little because the more you can leave on, the better, actually. That's all clearly bad. Starting to get a little worried. Okay. Officially a little bit worried. So, well, here's a leaf in there. This is so wild. You can actually that's a leaf. So you know what? There's actually good tissue inside of there. I'm stopping. I've cut this quite low, actually. Lower than I really wanted to. I'm stopping. We're doing that. All right, nothing special to the mix here. Just some regular potting mix. Oh, hang on. I'm going to go get my scoop. This is the best non-gardening gardening tool that I have. It's my 85-ounce ice scoop. And it's so handy for this job. So I'm not going to lie, you guys, when I just picked that up, I felt a little bit of a rotten spot right in the bottom of it, which worries me a bit. I'm just not pouring because I don't want to make a huge mess on the deck. She says as I look down and there's a huge mess on the deck already. I potted it a little low, but that's good because now I've got a nice lip to put water in, which is nice when you're bringing it in the house. I will give it a little bit of water, but not a lot. It's obviously already got some moisture situation happening there. And this is when we just hope and pray. I'm feeling less confident this year than I have in a few other years. I was all good until I felt that soft spot in the bottom. So everyone pray for the OG banana. All right, that's the banana update. Stay tuned for updates. We'll know pretty soon because in my experience, these will shoot up a leaf in maybe like a week. So I should know pretty soon if this is going to work or not. All right, you guys, have a great day in your garden. Bye-bye.